Okay, thank you so much for coming. Just in case you don't know, my name is Yoriko Oki, and I ask everybody to share where you're watching from. So put in a chat if you like. See, like from all over the place, North Dakota, South Dakota, Florida, Maryland, Ohio, California, and I can't even catch up. Another person from Florida, New Mexico. You're coming to Vancouver next month. Yes. And I have us from Georgia. Awesome. Thank you so much for coming. So I have a slideshow for you as usual. And just in case you don't know, that's what I usually do because I find that it's hard to show the colors better on camera. Like my webcam tend to wash out the colors, and I have another camera, but it tends to intensify the colors a little too much. I hope at least my slideshow is better for you. So this is me. My name is again Yoriko Oki. And I'm talking to you today from Richmond, British Columbia, Canada, which is right next to Vancouver in Canada. This is where the Vancouver airport is. So if you've been to Vancouver before, and if you flew in, you've been to Richmond before. My website is www.yorikooki. I just put the shop link in the chat. And also, if you're interested, like watching what I do, just make sure I'm behaving well. I'm most active on Instagram in terms of social media. So I just put the link to my Instagram account as well. And if you could give me a follow, that would be great. Okay, so this is my shared studio called Fiber Art Studio on Granville Island. Granville Island is artist and artisan community. There are lots of artists and craft people. And also there's a fabulous public market. Local people usually come to shop for grocery shopping. And you can get pretty much anything from all over the world. So it's a gourmet place. Also, because it's artist community, it's a tourist destination. People come from all over the world to see what the artists in Vancouver is creating. And because of that, last 2 years have been very quiet for us. So since we can move around a little bit better now, if you're planning to come to Vancouver, please come and visit us. I'm usually at the studio on Wednesdays and Thursdays, but my studio partners will welcome you for sure. So these are my studio partners. The person on the top left, Barbara Heller, she's the person who started studio 42 years ago. She's the owner of the studio. And it's funny, but after 42 years, we still get people occasionally come in. They look so excited and say, "Are you new?" And I said, "Oh, we're kind of 42 years new, if you could call it new." So yeah, it's kind of amazing. You should discover something, right? After 40 something years. And there's Elena Glasgow on the top right corner. And she's a felting artist. She makes beautiful felted scarves. She's originally from Ukraine. She's having a bit rough, but having tough time right now. So we're trying to support her as much as we could. And there's three of us at the bottom. We are the gang. Penny and Rose and myself. Penny is a weaver and dyer. Rose is a knitter and also dyer. She does funky knitting. That's the best way to put it. It's hard to explain by words. So if you're interested, visit studio Instagram account. It's fiber.art.studio. And you can see her work as well. And then myself, I talk about myself in the next slide. But three of us at the bottom quite often sharing a booth if we do a local fiber or knitting shows. So that's why I usually put my name and then slash fiber art studio. When I say business name, if you go to Ravelry, my yarn is listed as Fiber Art Studio on Granville Island as well. So this is me. I am a weaver and dyer, knitter. I started crocheting when I was 5 years old. My mom was trying to teach my sister how to crochet, and somehow I picked it up as well. I taught myself how to knit through my mom's really old magazine when I was in elementary school. And that magazine had tons of information in it, like tatting, hairpin lace, all other kind of things. So I tried those as well. It was hard to find a tatting shuttle back then, but I managed to do it too. And then when I was about 10 years old, I wanted to weave. But I just couldn't figure it out myself. And there's too many equipments involved in weaving. So I still have the book when I bought when I was 10 years old about weaving. And the inside, like for 10 years old, it was all like, I had no idea what they're talking about in a way. So I had to wait 20 years to start weaving, and that involved moving across the Pacific Ocean from Tokyo to Vancouver. And when I started weaving, the first thing I realized is there weren't too many kinds of weaving yarn available locally, especially in colors. 20 years ago, if you remember, there weren't like online shops like we do nowadays. Amazon was still just selling books. If you remember, they started as a book catalog company. And there weren't any social media, including Facebook. You had to wait another 5 years or so. So online world changed so much in last 20 years, right? And so what we had to do is we mail order yarn. If you know what mail order is, or if you remember what it is. If you don't, just ask me later. I go through that. And then most of the weaving yarn actually came in white. So we had to learn how to dye yarn so that we can use more colors in the weaving. So that's how I started dyeing yarn. And then soon after, knitters found me and asked me if I would sell my hand dye yarn. And I was like, sure, do you want to buy this? That's weird. So that's how I started as a dyer. And we didn't even have the term indie dyer back then. So as you see, like these are my woven works, and I love combining hand dyed yarn and hand weaving in my weaving work. Okay, so let's talk about what I sell next. And before we get started, so I gave you the link to my website. And if you buy more than $50 Canadian, you get free shipping. Oh, let me rephrase it. I will pay your shipping because there's no actually like free shipping, right? But $50 is basically 2 skeins of yarn. Shipping is getting really expensive these days. So $50 is actually, I think, pretty good deal. So I hope you take advantage of this offer. Okay, so here's the new thing in my website. I'm so excited about this. It is an ocean blue gradient mini skein set. I only have mini skein set right now, and the quantity is very limited. And I like to dye more as soon as I get more yarn. And as you know, we are having supply chain issues. It's a lot better than like 2 years ago, but we still have it. So I dye more as soon as I get them. And eventually I like to offer a full skein set as well, so that maybe you can make beautiful large shawls or maybe sweaters. Um, I did have this gradient set on DK Young for a long time, but recently a designer asked me if he could get gradient navy on the sparkle yarn, and I thought I could do that. I know how to do that. So this is how it happened, and it's available on my website now. It's Ocean Blue Gradient Mini Skein Set, and it's brand new. I just published it, I think this morning, so it's really brand new. Okay, and if you look at my listing on the Stitches website, today's theme is focus on blue. And that's because I love blues and I have a lots of blue color yarn in my shop. I was at the live show last month and quite a few people just walk by and says, "Oh my God, you're blues." So I thought like it's kind of fun to put all the, I shouldn't say all, some of my blue yarns together into presentation. Some people even said even my orange looks kind of bluish. I don't know how that could happen because orange and blue are like opposite colors on the color wheel. And so, but somebody said like, even your orange is kind of cool color. So I guess that's how I pick colors. So the first thing I like to show you is this Granville Island shawl designed by Jenny Pfeiffer. Jenny Pfeiffer. She's a sweater freak on Instagram. And she's sweater freak knits on Ravelry. And I'm pretty sure if you like you visit Ravelry regularly, I'm sure you've seen her work before. Okay, and this kit is available in my shop. This is what you get in the kit. You have full skein of navy yarn. This is nice marine blue navy. And then 5 mini skeins of this nice bright colors. And if you're looking for something to knit with, like maybe when you're traveling this summer or even just TV knitting, this would be something I highly recommend. And it's a basically, it starts with regular triangular shawl, okay? And mostly garter stitch. It's pretty much all garter stitch, except you do slip stitch to make those color dots. And color dots are done with mosaic or slip stitch. So that means you're working with one strand of yarn all the time. You don't have to fiddle with 2 strands of yarn. And the pattern's just so easy. They actually like only 3 pages of pattern, but it looks a lot more complicated than what it is. It's very easy to memorize the pattern. So by the time you do few repeats, you probably get it. And the rest is really easy, smooth sailing. You can just watch movie or something and keep knitting, 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 knitting. But with this triangular shawl, I don't know if it's just me or not, but at some point, the one row gets just so long. I feel like a bit daunting to start another row. It's like, oh, here go again, that kind of thing. But with this one, I thought this is really clever. When you get to about that point, you actually get to bind off half of the stitches. And then you keep working on the half number of stitches to make one side of the triangle a little longer to finish the shawl. I found that binding of half of the stitch was just a huge motivation factor. And I felt like, okay, I can do this. And I actually finished this. I had like long kind of break, few months, because I was just too busy to knit anything. But in my mind, like it went really, really quickly. Like the amount of time I actually worked on was very quick. So I really highly recommend this as a real relaxing knitting for your spring and summer. And this is the detail of the border. It's so intricate and it looks complicated, but it is not. So that's Granville Island Shawl by Jenny Pfeiffer, and I have the kit available in my shop. I'm trying to get the link for you, and it's in the chat now. Oh, sorry, that's a wrong link. I did that again. Okay, sorry. That link was for the ocean blue gradient I showed you earlier. So this one is a Granville Island shawl. I have the link in the chat now. Is there any question? Am I talking too fast? Are we okay? All right, let's keep going. Okay, so here's another kind of kit slash yarn. And this one is not blue, but you see the blue one next. And it's called Yoriko Shawl. It's my name. And it's kind of cool to have a shawl with my name on it on Ravelry. And this is designed by my friend Caroline Deck. She designed it about 2 years ago. And I also like to give credit to Sylvia McFadden, who did the photography.
Just finished her exercising.
Yeah,
we'll just put it off till tomorrow because it's about dinner time anyway.
Okay.
I got to mute
You
there you go. All right, so I bet you know Sylvia as the designer for Waiting for Rain. It's a garter stitch crescent shape shawl with like lace inset. She did that about 10 years ago, I think. Yeah, so that's Sylvia. And Caitlin French, she's also a designer herself. And she did the model for us. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, Caitlin and Caroline. So here is the blue version, which I'm wearing today. And the same pattern, Yoriko shawl. And this is the colorway is called Whale's Tail. And Whale's Tail is something I've been dyeing for many, many years, possibly over 10 years, could be close to 15 years. And it's always a good seller, I think, because it could be dressy or could be casual, because this goes well with jeans, because it's basically jeans color, right? And also it could be dressed up. So this yarn has been very popular for a long time, and it's one of my favorite as well. So this is how it looks like. This is Caroline and myself from 3 years ago. We changed a lot, I have to say. And then, okay, so that's the detail of the shawl on the left side. And it's mostly garter stitch and crescent shaped shawl. And okay, let's go back a little bit. And when you have about halfway through, you get to do just like 4, I think it was 4 rows of actually same lace as you do in the border, but it looks different when you do only a few rows. And then you keep knitting with garter stitch. And when you get to the border, you get to do this really modern looking lace. It is lace. I'm not gonna tell you how to do it because I want you to buy the pattern for Caroline. But it's fun to do, and it's again very easy. So I highly recommend this as kind of meditative, relaxing knitting, and it's a one skein project, and it makes nice, just around the neck kind of scarf. As you see here, I just wrapped this around once around my neck. It's kind of perfect size this time of the year when you don't really need a huge shawl. So that's Yoriko shawl. And I don't remember if I have this as a kit or not, But you can definitely buy the pattern from Ravelry, and you can buy the yarn from me too. Okay, so that's a couple more shot in red, and red one is called Crimson Blues. She looks good in these pictures, Caitlin. Okay, so the another one is, I don't have the kit for this, but I have the yarn, and I can direct you to the pattern if you're interested in the pattern. And this is designed by Françoise Danwa. You may know her as Frenchie as well. We call her Frenchie, and she's Aroha Knits on Instagram. And this is, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Kafrangi Cowl. Could be Kafrangai, I don't know. Kafrangi Cowl by Françoise Danwa. And she used a yarn called Periwinkle on Sparkle Yarn. She said this is one of her best sellers, and she actually reworked the design recently to make it hang a little better around the neck. So this is a new version of the cowl, and please check it out. And I love this periwinkle colors, and I know this is French's favorite color. She always picks something like this when we work together. Okay, so that's kind of individual colorways. And just in case you joined after the first information, if you go to my website and if you buy more than $50 Canadian, it's basically 2 skeins of yarn, you get free shipping, or I pay your shipping. Just put in the shop link into the chat again. So as I said, the shipping is not very cheap anymore. It's like the price really increased recently. So I think this is a pretty good deal. Oh, if you're interested, I actually sell ChiaoGoo circular needles as well, the fixed one. And if you need anything from ChiaoGoo, I can do the custom order as well. So give me a shout if you're looking for something specific. Okay, is there any question? Are we doing okay? Is there anybody planning to travel this summer?
I was hoping to visit you in Vancouver.
Yay, I'll be waiting for you. Okay, so let me continue. I have this Lakeside collection because this is a blue themed presentation, so I thought I'd throw this in. I like designing colorways in collections because when you have collections, like you can give some context into the collections. If you're buying online, like I can tell if you pick any colors from one collection, they will go together. So if you like, I see you in person, that's a different story. I'm more than happy to help you, which is I really love to do. But if you're buying online, like look at the collections and they give you some idea. So I just go through quickly because it's only 30 minutes for my presentation. So here is Morning Mist in this Lakeside collection. And I have a Spring Thaw. This is a green and white variegated colorway with blue green speckle. And then, this is a shawl Roberta made using this Spring Thaw. Okay, isn't it lovely? She's gorgeous. She's a gorgeous knitter. And she always comes to my booth when we have shows, and she picks few skeins and she comes back and surprises me. Always. I know it's beautiful. So this is a Birds of a Feather shawl by Andrea Mori, and she makes the Lady of the Lake on Kid Silk yarn and Spring Thaw on Sparkle yarn to make this gorgeous shawl. She's just stunning. So here's one more shot of that same shawl. And then I have an Ison Lake. That's a blue-white variegated color with speckles. And color gets, oh, sorry. Okay, so this Ison Lake, Frenchie used this colorway to design this beautiful wrap. A few years ago, it's called Merino wrap. And I have a kit available in my shop for this wrap. Okay, and then color gets darker. This is called Nita Lake. And this is a blue, green, and white variegated color with speckles. And this is a crochet design. I hope there's some crochet in here today. It's called Lake Water Shawl, designed by Nydia Plasky. It's gorgeous, and I do have a kit available for this one as well. And look at the size of this shawl. Like if you go on a cruise or maybe wedding or, and then, in the summer, it could get chilly in the evening, right? And if you need something to cover up without ruining your nice outfit, this would be it. And if you're a crocheter, you are lucky. I think this is just stunning. It's on my queue on Ravelry. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything, but it is in my queue. And then color gets darker. Reflection on sparkle. This is a little bit navy and purple is introduced. And then you get more navy with deep end. And then finally, I have indigo constellation on sparkle. This is the tonal colorways, and the color shifted quite a bit, although it looks navy overall, and it's really fun color to knit with and looks so elegant too. So one time I decided to make sample with this Lakeside collection. So I picked 5 colors and asked my sample knitter to knit Fading Point Shawl by Hohi Locatelli. And she did a good job. I literally gasped when I opened the package, and I really need a better picture for this shawl, and I will work on it this summer. But you see how generous that size is, and the construction method is really interesting too. So as I said in the beginning, I am a weaver. So whenever I design collection, I feel like I have to weave with this. So one time I just put all the Lakeside collection color on the loom and then made these 3 shawls. So if you're a weaver, I hope that may give you some inspiration. And you get different colors because when you're weaving, we're doing what called optical blending. There's a warp that goes like straight on the loom and the tension, and then there's weft that's woven into the cloth. And depending on the color of the weft, you get very different effect. So that's optical blending. If you come to my show tomorrow again, I talk more about optical blending, which is used for knitters as well. Because nowadays, like we blend the fingering weight yarn and the mohair, right? And then you can mix colors to get different effect. So I talk about that tomorrow, and I hope you can come and join me tomorrow again. So that's it today, and it's 5:30, and I have to 5:30 my time, so I have to let you go. But if you have any question, I'll be here for a couple more minutes, and I can answer your questions as well.
Thank you so much. It's just beautiful. Everything's just beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for coming.
I've got your Galaxy collection, and I started a shawl, but it was too pretty, and it ended up a vest. So thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So I hope to see you in Vancouver. Bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm usually there Wednesday and Thursday, but
Okay,
let me know. Then I come and see you.
okay. I'll aim for Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay, awesome.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show. There's so many great classes and great vendors. So I hope to see you tomorrow again. And thank you so much for joining me today. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.